Yeah.
I was going to ask, was that thought process derived from, we had talked about, are you a product of your environment previously? Now you had mentioned, you've been around it and things like that. Do you think that mentality stems from those experiences?
100%. 100%. Yeah. Right. You too, Phil. Right. You would agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I got that same mentality from my mom. Like my dad is I get the like the strong quiet type like from my dad, like just being around him. But my mom has always been like, it's like you want to get really excited about something, but you've seen a lot of disappointment. So instead of allowing yourself to go into that roller coaster and those, like, if you can get really high about something and really excited about it, but the letdown from that is that much more dramatic if you allow yourself to get there. And if you've seen a lot of disappointing things, if people have let you down or whatever it is, it's like at some point, I'm just going to hope for the best, expect the worst, but I'll just be happy if it comes to fruition. But if it doesn't come to fruition, I'm not going to be losing sleep over this because I could have seen the red flags, but instead of, I looked at some people, it's like, if you can get really, really excited and like to the point that you're like crying happy because someone bought you the car of your dreams or whatever, it's dope. I love it for you. I have to like tell Jackie sometimes that I'm really excited about something. It's because I still don't get that high on stuff. I internally I may be like jumping for joy, but it's almost like I don't even know how to react in that situation. It's like I'm really happy right now. Trust me, I am. You got me a great gift. I'm really excited about it. But I have to like show you that I appreciate it through using it or by telling you and stuff like that. But because you're not going to see me jumping around doing cartwheels and stuff like that. It's that's just the environment that, it came up in.
Like the end zone, man, just act like you've been there before.
Yeah. That's why I told you, like, when it came to like the competition and stuff, like talking trash and all that stuff, it's like I love the Larry Fitzgeralds, the Barry Sanders and stuff like that. It's like getting to the end zone and being Odell Beckham, that's great because you're gonna get outside sponsorship deals and all that stuff. But like there's something crazy about Andre Johnson standing across from you and he's not saying anything to you. Like there's a certain level of confidence that comes from that. So it's like to me, it's just I've always loved that mentality. But they're very even keel, even though internally it's probably explode like craziness going on. But the fact that they're able to bring it to you in that regard, like I've always admired that.
Yeah.
Until the play starts and you take off the helmets and start swinging.
Right. That's the only thing. You can still get there. Yeah.
This is the Stxhes Podcast. Everybody, thank you so much for coming in. We've got Brandon, Philip, Gene, Dwayno, and myself, Donnie. Thanks for tuning in. You're like, I can't take this shit no more. I'm out. Okay. He's out for the weekend, right?
You just come out and give just 12 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 turnovers. We win the game. That's how it is.
I see folks I'm like, oh man, that's old folks stuff. I'm like, damn, am I getting old? Like he watched.
I'm damn near a gangster in real life. You know what I'm saying? But no.
Adobe.
What's that?
What do you use? What software?
I've been using Canva.com for.
Oh yeah.
So I got like the premium version of that. So. It's very little that I can't do from like Photoshop, but and then on my tablet I got Sketchbook Pro, so I got that sitting next to me. I just keep swapping back and forth if I got to color, change up colorways and stuff. So I've been having fun with it the last couple of days.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on?
What's up, Gene?
What up, Gene?
Doing all right, brother. What's going on with y'all, man?
Chillin'.
Hey, man.
I feel you. Today I'm a little bit more on the fly. I got little man duties, so I'm gonna be a little bit on the move. You know what I'm saying?
Understandable.
Just put them down myself, man.
For real?
Yeah. It's an art form, man. It's an art form. Phil, you gonna learn.
It is that, man. I just got out of my work attire too, man. I see you still in your get up. You know, if I didn't have left you dolo, you know, but you get the, you know, steal the spotlight with that. But I was just like, let me throw on a fleece real quick. But yeah, man, I literally just got out my work clothes in the dang kitchen, man. It be like that sometimes, man. You don't even, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
Man. How was everybody's day?
Can't complain.
Good, man. Good, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
grinding like bad breaks, man. It's just been wild, but no complaints. I'll tell you that much.
Your day,
You
G.
good?
Yeah, man. It was a good day. You know, it was a good day. Work. I met with some coworkers after. Did a little happy hour, so that was cool. Broke up, but you know, but you know how that goes, man. If you're not in, can't be in multiple places at one time. So if you're not in one place, you at another place. You're not in one place, and you know sometimes. You know what I'm saying so. Anyways, man, it was good. It was good overall, man. It was good overall.
A long way to say that.
Yeah, rerouting.
You know, that's that.
Was that a little pre-birthday celebration?
No, it was just like, you know, St. Patty's Day. I'll call it that. To me, it was that, man. You know, in a sense, because you know these days I don't do much. You know, so for me, yeah, man. For me, I just, you know, had a little appetizer, had a little, you know, pretty much it was really the appetizer and you know, just had, you know, good vibe, and so that was cool, you know. So it just happened, you know, because St. Patty's Day, so other heads was, you know, doing their thing, but for me it was just kind of just to take a moment and just be around some people. That was good. But yeah.
Wait, what day is your birthday?
Saturday.
It is Saturday. Okay, I was like, wait, is that just the celebration or all right, cool. We good.
Yeah, we good. Right. God bless. Yeah. It just happened to be Saturday. Yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. That works. So
enjoying your last days of being 21.
Yo, for real, big bro, man. Man. You know, numbers creeping. You know, numbers are creeping, man. You know, it's so funny because when people be like, you know, enjoy your kids, you know, because time flies by so fast. I'm like, damn, you just tell me I'm gonna get real old real quick. You know, that's all you telling me. You know, that's all I hear. You know what I mean? Like one day you're gonna be 30, next day you know you 60. Like, you know, that's what I hear when I hear that, when they say the time flies with them.
But you ever think about it? It's like how old you are now. It's like, dang, I've lived this long, and part of me like feels like it's been a long life. And then you think about folks that are 80, 90, 100 plus, like that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Man. Yeah, man. You know what's so crazy though for me, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You know, if you know me, you know me. You know, I'm kind of crazy sometimes, man. But like, bro, I don't even see myself, you know. Anyways, it's not on the like depression tip. It's not nothing like that. I just don't even. I can't even see myself past 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Again, this is not on no downer tip. It's just I'm just not that. I don't know. I just don't see it. So yeah, man, I can't. So 90, 76, I can't even imagine. Like sometimes I avoid those, like, you know, when they show you these filters that'll show you how you look like old, bro. I don't even want to see it. You know what I mean? You know, like dude, man, I don't even want to see it. I'm like, because I don't think I'm gonna make it. You know, that's just me keeping it real. It'd be crazy, bro. But I
Wait, how
don't
old are
see
you?
myself. I'm 30, so I'll turn 34. Yeah,
40 is
man.
a stretch.
Yeah.
What's prompting that?
Uh, I don't know, man. I don't know. Pessimism. I don't know what to call it, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. I be feeling like I don't know, man. Phil already know me, man, on a different scale, man. I'm just a different dude, man. I'm a
Nah,
different dude. I'm just,
nah, I'm not gonna leave you out there. I feel the same way sometimes, though. And it's like it's almost like I work with clients that I just worked with a woman that was 104 years old, but I feel like at every age I've just kind of felt like I guess when I was like 15, thinking of turning 30 was crazy. But like when I turned 25, when I turned 30, I was always like good with my age. Like I didn't miss being 21. I didn't miss being 25 when I got to that next stage. So, but like I know like there's a lot of like musicians and artists and stuff like Basquiat. I know like different artists that had passed at like 27 years old, and like I don't fear passing at any point just because I've also seen close friends and family at my age and everything like that, and even younger, passing away so just unexpectedly, car accidents and stuff like that. So I'm like, I always feel content with the age that I'm at. I may not feel content with where I am in life yet. Like I'm not financially secure enough to feel like I'm completely content. But as far as like life experience is concerned, like I feel like I've been at peace with whenever that day comes. But yeah, it's like I can't imagine living this same life, this same amount of time, two more times to get to 90. Like
dude.
I can't even like fathom it. So it's like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm happy with what's happened in my life. But like, yeah, no, I feel like that sometimes too. But it
You
makes
just,
you feel more fortunate.
dude, you just articulated that exact to a T of how I wanted to put it. You said everything I wanted to say because everything you just said is exactly that. To a T. That's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's exactly that.
It's like it sounds negative putting it a certain way, but it's like I get what I Don tells me that all the time. Like some of the things that I say comes off as like harsh or negative or whatever. It's like I kind of like came up with the mentality, like the pessimistic to me, it's very realistic in terms of just
Right,
like,
really.
yeah, like I don't see it as pessimistic, like I'm sitting around stressing about it all day and I'm negative about it or whatever. It's just I look at it more realistically, and then if it doesn't happen, that gives you something to be excited about. But it's not something that would be like I never want to be shocked by something. Just imagine it, just thinking that everything's gonna be perfect, I'm gonna last forever, I'm gonna live forever, or whatever. It's like it's not like I'm being pessimistic. I just think I'm being realistic with it.
Sure.
So I get you. I get it.
Yep. Perfect, man. It feels comforting in a sense to hear someone else say that, because yeah, that's why I wasn't. But yeah, man, you couldn't have said it better. That's everything you said, man. I'm just being real. I see, I cope with death, man. I've seen a lot of death, you know, you know, and it's yeah, and like I said, and I've lived. I mean, I always think the only thing I haven't seen is my little guy grow older. That's it, man. I haven't been rich, but I've lived a rich life. I've done more than people who are in the 80s, 90s have done in their whole lives, man. And like you said, man, people dying around me, that's normal. That desensitized bit, that's almost normal. And but like you said, man, I can't see myself doing this two times around, but I feel at peace with it. If I gotta go, I gotta go. That's just I'm okay. And like you said, at this point in my life, man, I try not to let anything surprise me. People like, do you worry about this? Nah, I don't worry about too much anymore, man. I don't worry about other people. I don't worry about what's happening. I'm like, nothing exactly. I live life in a sense like where nothing is gonna surprise me in a sense. I know I'll be surprised, but like, I'm like, okay. So yeah, man, that's me, man. If I gotta go, I gotta go. You know, I like you said, I'm hopeful that I'll live. I'm hopeful. I'm not saying I want to go, I'm saying if I gotta go, I gotta go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, was that thought process derived from, we had talked about, are you a product of your environment previously? Now you had mentioned, you've been around it and things like that. Do you think that mentality stems from those experiences?
100%.
Mhm.
100%. Yeah. Right. You too, Phil. Right. You would agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I got that same mentality from my mom. Like my dad is such, like, I get the like the strong, quiet type, like from my dad, like just being around him. But my mom has always been like, it's like you want to get really excited about something, but you've seen a lot of disappointment. So instead of allowing yourself to go into that roller coaster and those, like, if you can get really high about something and really excited about it, but the letdown from that is that much more dramatic if you allow yourself to get there. And if you've seen a lot of disappointing things, if people have let you down or whatever it is, it's like at some point, I'm just gonna hope for the best, expect the worst, but I'll just be happy if it comes to fruition. But if it doesn't come to fruition, I'm not gonna be losing sleep over this because I could have seen the red flags, but instead of, yeah, I looked at some people, it's like if you can get really, really excited and like to the point that you're like crying happy because someone bought you the car of your dreams or whatever, it's dope. I love it for you. I have to like tell Jackie sometimes that I'm really excited about something just because I still don't get that high on stuff. I internally I may be like jumping for joy, but it's almost like I don't even know how to react in that situation. It's like I'm really happy right now. Trust me, I am. You got me a great gift. I'm really excited about it. But I have to like show you that I appreciate it through using it or by telling you and stuff like that. But because you're not going to see me, jumping around doing cartwheels and stuff like that. It's just that's just the environment that it came up in.
It's like the end zone, man. Just act like you've been there before.
Yeah, that's why I told you, like when it came to like the competition and stuff, like talking trash and all that stuff. It's like I love the Larry Fitzgeralds, the Barry Sanders and stuff like that. It's like getting to the end zone and being Odell Beckham. That's great because you're gonna get outside sponsorship deals and all that stuff. But like, there's something crazy about Andre Johnson standing across from you and he's not saying anything to you. Like there's a certain level of confidence that comes from that. So it's like to me, it's just I've always loved that mentality. But they're very even keel, even though internally it's probably explode like craziness going on. But the fact that they're able to bring it to you in that regard, like I've always admired that.
Yeah.
Until the play starts and you take off the helmets and start swinging.
Right. That's the only thing. You can still get there. Yeah. Yeah, it's like don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, if you got Cortland Finnegan across from you, Julio Jones has gotten there too. So
So they playing to release him.
Bro, it feels like every time I turn on or I look at my phone or get a notification, it's like some crazy stuff is happening in the NFL.
Like Von Miller going to the Bills for 6 years. It's like, huh?
And the Baker Mayfield stuff, and it was like overnight. Deshaun Watson all of a sudden became like the hottest commodity ever. Like they finally just said, screw it. They want him. We're gonna get out there too. Like everybody's trying to get Deshaun, and Baker Mayfield is. We gonna see.
I hear that. Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. I mean, but Von Miller, Bill's getting them. I mean, they getting the Von Miller of old, or is Von Miller still Von Miller? What do y'all think about that?
Well, his defense is nice,
right? So he doesn't have to be the Von Miller of old.
Yeah,
just his veteran presence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, he still got talent, I believe, but yeah, you bring that kind of experience. It's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's invaluable. That's for sure.
Yeah, they were overtime rule away from winning the AFC Championship, but
I think who did the Chargers loaded up there, didn't they? They got two
yeah,
big. I
Who
can't remember who
went
they
over
picked
there?
up.
Yeah,
Khalil
Chargers
Mack they
got
traded.
Khalil
Khalil
Mack. Yeah, I
Mhm.
was like, for real? Yeah. And the
And they
Chargers are
got
always
JC.
that.
They got JC Jackson
JC,
too.
yeah,
No
yep.
way. They got J.C. Jackson?
hmm
Oh, crap.
New
Damn.
England wasn't going to pay him.
They weren't going to pay him.
Not like a top. I mean, his numbers mean he's a top flight corner. You know,
Yeah.
and you see the Chargers literally just watched the other LA team spend all this money in free agency. Now nobody is a Chargers fan. Like no one in LA is walking around in Chargers jerseys.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But they're always a threat. You know, like they're not, I don't know. I guess they're never that threat to like, oh yeah, they're going to win the Super Bowl type thing. But they're that threat like, if you need some to win games and you have to go against them, there's a good chance you're going, they're going to find a strategy. Like they were one of the first ones to figure out, Kansas City, and figuring out like, strategies like for Ravens and Lamar, like these dudes, they come up with some game plans to take dudes out on on some Sundays. So it's they're yeah. I don't
I
know.
mean, they can play. It feels like the league is so like you have no idea who's going to win every year. Like it's a good feeling to, especially like it was cool watching the Patriots win all these games. I'm not gonna go back and act like it wasn't a great time, but like
Right.
I do feel like a couple of years ago, I was like I really don't mind seeing what's gonna happen on like the rebuild, like to see what it's like to actually go into Sunday like. Oh no, I'm not coming in as the favorite. Like for one, we can actually go back and forth about this game. It's not like it's always like every time I tell somebody growing up like I'm a Patriots fan, they would immediately go to hate. Immediately go to, and it's like we can't even talk football now because I'm gonna be a bully if I talk trash about your team. Now you can say something. Now they lose. All right, cool. Let's go back at it.
It's true, man. I appreciated the structure, man. It was good feeling when, like you said, man, turn on something like, they're gonna win this game, and I wasn't even betting on nothing. Back then I should have been betting, and then all of a sudden, man, one day came around, and there's so much uncertainty. Like I feel the stress other people feeling. I'm like, this ain't even right. Like, like it just changed one day, but. All we know is, nothing stays the same, man. That's for sure. And then now with Brady coming back, somebody asked me today, like, how do you feel about Brady coming back? And I was just kind of like, we done lost so many like veteran, quarterbacks now. Like when I say lost, like retirement, like Peyton and Ben, and what's in Breeze and all that. And I'm like, I don't know, were we really ready to see just this whole new, age, or do we still appreciate having one of the few veterans still around? I don't know how to feel about it,
I think he should have stayed. I think he should have stayed retired. I don't know why. If you didn't win with last year's lineup, with everybody coming back and all, they had some injuries and stuff. But like now, I don't know. I think the league has evened out so much that like there's quite a few teams that have a chance in both the AFC and the NFC, and I don't really see I don't know. Full staff maybe, but they're losing guys too.
Yeah.
I just don't see it as like that kind of momentum at this point. But we'll see. I'd never count Brady out, but they kept having like the rumors of him going to San Francisco, which would be interesting.
It would be. The
I think
funny
he's
thing
gonna
is
retire in New England though. I think he's gonna sign.
You think so? Like on one day contract?
Yeah.
Maybe. The one thing I kept thinking, man, it's not cool that I think this, but I kept thinking, damn, like it really sucks to really be home every day with your supermodel wife. Like, this dude took a little time off, was like, I can't do this. Like, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. I gotta go back to work. That's all I keep thinking. I'm like, this dude's like, I gotta, because his wife been wanting him to retire.
Mm-hmm.
He probably walking around the house miserable, yelling at the kids, and she's like,
So you need to go. You need to go back.
That's all I keep thinking about, man. That's all I keep thinking about. Because the way he left out, it wasn't bad. Like, it was okay. Like it was, nobody was like, oh man, Brady could have left better. Like it was okay. But this was like, nah, you know what? I'm not done. I need to keep playing football. My wife been begging me to quit, but nah, I'm gonna keep
That is so Gene. Are you
Yeah.
envisioning Brady like hanging up pictures on the wall and like fixing the kids' clubhouse and building the bar in his basement? Like, is that what you saw him doing? Like, adding it up, or like, what
I
did
seen
you
him
doing after they got back from the trip?
Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe just throwing the pigskin around with the son a little bit. Maybe focusing on, hey, maybe I'll coach his team or something, or maybe I'll, I don't know, something. Like I figured he'd do something extracurricular, or maybe get in the NFL again in some fashion. Maybe be, what Tony Romo was. I mean, he's not Tony Romo in a sense, but it's just I don't know something. But playing football again was not what not what I actually hoped. I thought he just might not do it. But just
wait,
to
so
see him back,
you mean to tell me you don't leave work like, man, I don't have to go in tomorrow, but didn't actually go in?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this dude's like, because at the end of the day, I'm like, this dude really come on, like y'all telling me what y'all see with that. Like your wife is telling you, yo, I want you to quit playing football. You've had many concussions. I want you home, and and then it's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna go back. And she was adamant, and y'all like, nah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna play. Like, because then there was always those arguments, like she's the one that had to like be home with the kids all the time, and she's doing this and that, giving up her stuff a lot more for him. And he comes right back at it. He's like, nah, you know what? I'm not done. I mean, what's that? I felt that's why I said I felt like after he was done, they went on vacation a little bit. They spent a little extra time. He's just kind of like, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to do this. I need to be playing football. That's what I see, man. That's just me. That's just me.
But
I mean,
who got him to come out of retirement, right?
You said who got him to come out of retirement?
Do you know who got him to come out of retirement?
No, who?
LeBron James.
For real?
Apparently so.
Stop it. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why everybody hates on LeBron as it is, and I'm one of them. Like every time there's another topic, somebody still finds a way to bring up LeBron.
No, he said that. They were texting, they were talking back and forth. And he was like,
I did hear some rumor of that.
Huh? No, he like put it like the quote. I've seen the quote that Brady said that LeBron was like, yeah, we're two goats or two greats in our respective industries or something like that. And then he was talking about just to come back, unfinished business.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a powerful thing coming from LeBron while playing on this team. Like he's like, because my thing is like Brady, if you don't win a Super Bowl, the way that he went out was perfect. Like it wasn't his fault that he last second drive down the field. All right, you still went out on your shield. That's fine. If you come back and all of a sudden you lose 10 games because you knows what happens on a yearly basis. You don't know what injuries are going to happen if he gets injured or anything like that. So now you're going to leave on that note. But LeBron James saying that like my legacy is still currently happening even though I'm losing all these games. Like him saying that to him, and I guarantee his wife was probably like, I can tell you're not being you right now. There's something on your mind. What's going on? You want to go back and play football? We got maids, we got nannies, we got everything already set up anyway. Because she's still a model. At the end of the day, it's not like she's really sitting around all day cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. Like, let's be real. They got a system in place. They're good to go. But Don, how does everybody hate LeBron? No, it's you. You got 4 people and one of them hates LeBron.
It's so unfair. It's not just me though. It's not, and that's the thing. I don't hate the guy. Come on, let's clarify this. I don't hate the guy. I love what he does. I love what he does for his community. I love what he does for the world. I mean, he puts out a very positive message for kids to follow, and there's nothing that he does versus what he says. I mean, some of the stuff I like to make fun of because it's a little corny and cheesy sometimes, but his actions match his words. And in today's time, that's hard to come by. There's a whole lot of people that do a whole lot of talking and don't do a lot of doing. And he's one of those people that does it all, man. He's got a legacy that's going to go way beyond the court. But the fact that he keeps going to a team and then building the team in his own way and gets what he wants and stuff like that. That part gets kind of old to me. He picks his freaking coach. You can't tell me he doesn't. And then for them to do this last step of his career with the Lakers, and then them completely flounder, even though he's gotten everything that he wants, but other people are still taking the blame for it. I don't understand it. I just don't. I don't get it. And I get it. A lot of these guys are falling apart. Westbrook is not the same player he used to be. Neither is Davis or these other guys. But come on.
You got this guy putting up
that.
crazy numbers.
Yeah.
And then he's supposed to take the entire blame for it.
I mean, how many games have you watched in the like if LeBron is supposed to take the blame for what's currently happening, you're not watching the game. There's no chance that nobody you notice it's not even like Skip Bayless isn't saying LeBron looks old. And Skip would take this shot every single time. He's not saying that. Because it's undeniable when you see the dude going at the 5 position 20 years into the league and playing the 5 and drops 50 on the Warriors. It's still LeBron's fault. And if he put that team together, they won a championship. Everywhere he's gone, they won a championship. So what are you going to say? Like, that's exactly what you hoped he did if he came there. So if he goes somewhere else and they win another championship, you're going to be mad at the fact that that he switched teams again while all these other superstars are switching teams and it's not a problem at all, building up super teams just to beat him.
Yeah. And people, look beyond that. Like every stop that he's made, he's brought home a chip. Okay, so now you're going off of what's currently going on, but you forgot that they won a championship in probably the most difficult season in NBA history, arguably. But
people love to discredit that, though. People love to discredit that season, but they were in the bubble. As if it's a better condition to have to play under. Like, you really want to be in the bubble. No matter how nice the amenities are, you're still in the bubble. As opposed to being at my house and doing everything. Like, you saw the team start to crumble. They got, all the young guys and stuff, you see them slipping out and getting violations and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They had to completely lock in. You gonna tell me I'm a multi-millionaire and I have to be confined in this place. I'm not allowed to go anywhere. I got wristbands and stuff, and you gonna act like that's an easy championship to win. And the rest of the league was also in that exact same position. So, yeah, it's always gonna be something to find.
With no fans, I mean, these players feed off the energy of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. Yeah.
And just the general uncertainty of the fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic that no one had ever, like the first couple of weeks of the pandemic, we could have sworn it was like the plague, like just going outside or being around people and stuff like that. Like I was working at the start and they had the plastic screens over half the hallways and I'm going and doing estimates in a senior living community. Like they were playing basketball to entertain us during that time and he still comes home with the championship. Like, if you keep blaming Russ for everything that happens, it's a shame because Anthony Davis is still hurt. You can go back to the first podcast we shot. I said, I don't know what it is. Anthony Davis wakes up hurt. And every time you turn on the TV, he's going down. And even if he doesn't stay down, he still pretends he's hurt, like a soccer player. And then he ends up being hurt for what are you supposed to do?
You're going to sign another max deal.
Yeah.
But then that's to LeBron's benefit because he's with Clutch Sports, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, LeBron is puppeteering all of this. But nah, you can't hit on him, man. Being in the spotlight for umpteen years.
It's wild. I like seeing Lamar Jackson on the shop with him. And seeing it's being a superstar. That's such a cool relationship to see him and you can just feel the energy from Lamar every time he talks. It's like he's ready to jump on the field immediately. But seeing him looking up to LeBron, you forget their age gap and everything. Even his second life is going to be dope with the film and all the stuff. He's got so much lined up.
Yeah. Nah, Lamar is cool. Did I tell you that story? I met him down in Miami at the Super Bowl.
I remember the picture.
Yeah, and then I was talking to him. I was like, "Yeah, my grandma and aunt, they're huge fans." I was like, "Hold on, real quick." I FaceTime Aunt Sandy, and he got on FaceTime with her. And luckily, Uncle Jay was next to her, and he filmed it while she was on the phone with him. So I gotta get that from her. I'll send it to you. But it was cool.
It's dope.
Yeah, it was a good time, man. He's cool people. And I hate to see, everybody pointing the finger at him. Like, nah, yeah.
Wait, what did you just say about Lamar, Dwayne? You said you hate to see what?
Everybody pointing the finger at him like he's a bad quarterback. Like he's not the real deal.
How do you see Lamar?
I mean, you put him on any other team, I think they're gonna pick up, on his energy and everything like that. I mean, obviously it's the coaching and the staff that has a big piece to do with it too. But you put him, bring him on down 95, and we won't. I bet you we win a championship. It's bigger than the X's and O's. It's that impact. That's what we were talking about with Von Miller. Like, he's not the Von Miller of old, but that knowledge and that experience that he can bring and that energy he can bring to the locker room can win championships. So.
Yeah. I remember draft night. I was hoping the Patriots took him. Like, I knew it was probably like a year or two early for a quarterback, but it was like already at the end of the first round. And my boy was he's a Ravens fan. He was texting me. He was like, "They're not going to take Lamar, you think?" And then he got pissed because the Ravens didn't take him. And it was lining up. Every year I get disappointed with the Patriots' first round draft pick. I don't know why. Again, getting my hopes up. Right. I'm a product of my environment, and stuff keeps happening. Every year get my hopes up about, like, you see all the analysts and they're telling you all these different players and stuff, and then it's like first round linebacker from BYU or something. It's like, bro. And Lamar was sitting there, and the Ravens ended up trading back into the first. I think they got like Sony Michel or something like that year. Yeah. But now Lamar is just a difference maker. It's like, and guys like that. I still look at the Ravens offense, and it's like, it's not even like a shot to take at. I want the Ravens to do well just because so many of my friends and family are Ravens fans, and it just feels better when you're going out in town and stuff, and they're in a good mood. But like, it feels like you always look at the running quarterbacks and blame them, even though we've seen it happen so many times in college that they're nonstop 500 yards a game, everything else. But then they get to the league and the lack of creativity in the league said, "Oh, it just doesn't work in the NFL." It doesn't make any sense when it works against Alabama, and all of Alabama's players are going to be in the league next year. So it's not like they're playing trash competition. Like, until we start putting the owner, like, I hate watching the Ravens offense because they try and dumb it down so much, like it's necessary to dumb it down when it comes to the passing game. Every year it's a tight end, a no-name tight end it's just a big dude. He's not going to be very athletic, but he's going to be a space filler and a good catcher. And they always do the same exact. I get it. Dump down passes and all that. It's just like, can you please take the handcuffs off of this offense and bring in some new blood if you don't see it. It's tough to see. And then you rely on his legs so much as if he's really a running back. Those shots add up very quickly on a quarterback. You still got to get back there and be able to stay in the pocket. Like, it's too much on Lamar.
I completely agree.
You're muted, G.
I feel like if he would have had all of his stable of running backs, it would have been a very different year. I think that's what those guys the most.
Yeah, they got bit by the injury bug on the running backs. Well, they lost Ingram, and then J.K. tore his ACL or something like that.
Yeah, and then Gus Edwards went down too. I mean, any of the guys that were familiar with the offense and reliable, completely unreliable that year, which just blows. Because to Philip's point, you can't put that kind of burden on any one player in the football team, like, period.
But you know the crazy part about this though, why doesn't Taysom Hill get that same criticism?
my question is, why does he get the celebration around him? I don't see it. Like he doesn't do anything extremely well. He just does a lot of things above average. So if you put him at quarterback, he's not going to be able to win a championship that way. You can't just put him at running back or receiver or these gadget punt returns. He's still just like a basic athlete at the end of the day in any of those categories individually. And he's not Cordero Patterson. So I don't get the acclaim behind the kid. I think he's one of those guys he's like marketable. That's all you can really say about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is he marketable though? I don't really recall them trying to like push him to like the front of the pack. Like he represents the team. He's our guy. Like I don't know. He was always on the sideline. Like, oh yeah, this is our secret weapon. And it was like a giggle behind it. Like I don't think anybody really took that threat seriously.
Bro,
didn't he sign like some crazy deal for like $100 million or something like that? 112 million?
I think he got like, it was like 40 something. I think we looked it up the one time when we were talking about it on here with Brandon. I think it was like 3 years, 45 million or something like that. Because we were like, he's getting paid like a quarterback. And I looked at it and I was like, he's not actually getting paid like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like typically like the white skill players, the skill position players, they're typically, they have their fan base. Like when you see like a Cooper Kupp and stuff like that, like they're going to have a bigger fan base than I don't want to say an average after saying Cooper Kupp because he was killing it this year. But when it comes down to it, it's like they're still going to have a bigger fan base than the above average black player because you see so many of them, and you see a white dude, and still the majority of America and football fans are going to be white guys. So you want him to be better than he actually is. But no, I don't see it panning out. Maybe as a tight end, but
yeah. So you take Cooper Kupp out of that system? Is he still producing like that?
I just wanted to preface that because I don't want to sound like a hater on him because I don't know if it's special. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I mean, there is something to the system because I think Robert Woods was even putting up numbers before.
Yeah, he was. He got hurt.
Yeah. I don't know.
Man, you still got to get open. I mean, ask Cole Beasley. Ask any of those little guys that work their route and manage to get open. I don't see that being a fault. You can call a system if you want, but the system's only going to ask those guys to do what they're.
Where do you rank him? He just won like every award possible for wide receivers. Where do you rank him amongst the top guys? I don't want to say currently because I can't really think of too many guys that you really should put it, but like where do you rank them all time?
Are we still talking about Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
Like a year or two ago, versus the year that they had the extra games on the schedule. Because even he said that, like there's an asterisk next to the stuff that I just won. You know what I mean? Like screwed it up.
Yeah.
You taking Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford, or Matt Stafford and Megatron?
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Truth be told, you've literally got to say Calvin Johnson just because he had no one else around him, regardless of the system that the defense could really focus on. Cooper Kupp benefited from having a whole bunch of role players around him that did their job to the nth degree, and
he did what he was
supposed to do. Look, we just talked about how Robert Woods, you guys were just talking about, like if these guys were in another system, they probably wouldn't be as productive. At the end of the day, Calvin Johnson was in an offense where they told him to run down the field and go catch it amongst 3 different DBs. Like that was pretty much what they had him do game in and game out. Like he had all these kind of dynamic catches and stuff every game. And that was his whole job. No one else was catching balls around him in that offense, period. But if you watch Cooper Kupp and the Rams, it's a whole bunch of people that contribute. it ain't just him. It makes it look like it because his freaking numbers are insane. But they treat him almost like a running back. He's catching a lot of short throws and he gets yak afterwards. Like that's what he does. That's what that offense does well.
The offense, the system.
That's what I'm saying. So again, where do you rank him? That's he never answered that.
He said rerouting.
Honestly, I'm gonna put him in the top 3
of all time.
Oh, all time? I thought we were just talking about this year.
I don't think he's earned that. Yeah, this year, maybe this year, but I don't think he's earned that yet. Of all time.
No, not all time. Yeah. I mean, he's the past 2 or 3 years. Yeah, he's put up really good stats. But his first few years, he wasn't even like. He was like 3rd or 4th string. He wasn't even starting those first couple of years. So yeah, he's still got a ton of potential.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Phil? Where you rank him?
I mean, I'm in the same boat. You know, a lot of the most like the big names and stuff like that are getting older. And some of the better guys are like these slot receivers that are still coming up. I mean, like even the Chiefs have like 3 or 4 legit wide receivers on their squad right now. It's like it's even tough to say like Tyreek Hill is really the best wide receiver on that squad at this point. But it's like I don't know who really, because it used to be like Odell Beckham, Julio Jones. Cooper Kupp really is up there. I'm not a big Michael Thomas guy. I think that he was also a product of that system, and we're going to see what happens without Drew Brees. But yeah, Cooper Kupp's got to be up there in the top 3. Why is everybody getting muted?
I keep hitting the mute because this little dude. So I don't want to sound, doing that baby talk on here.
That may be, Don may be just getting back to the house or something too.
Yeah, Don, I'm not sure what's up with him. But,
that boy chimed in, man.
Gibberish. Yeah, for real. I swear, man, sometimes like, if I hear myself, man, I'd be on that. It's just crazy. Funny. This dude just walk around like, just going crazy. Oh, that's what's happening.
Just running in a circle.
Running, like, and then So yeah, man.
Wait, how old is he now?
He's 16 months. So I start sounding like the mother. He 36 months, 3 days, 5 minutes, and 3 seconds. Yeah, man. So, but yeah, man, he's getting bigger, this little dude. So gibberish. And I swear, one day I know I'm gonna wake up and he's just gonna be able to, formulate real words. And I'm like, when you learn how to talk, I'm like, that's, I swear, everything just feel like it just happened. You don't feel like it eased into it either. It just feel like one day he just talk. Just like one day I was standing in the kitchen, this dude just sprinted right by me. And I swear to goodness, I thought like I caught the Holy Ghost or something. I was like, yo, who just ran by me here? I didn't even know he could walk, let alone run. Yep. He went, dude. So that's how it goes. Anyway, yeah, man. So, and like I said, these days, like a few months ago, this dude, by this time, this dude should be sound asleep, maybe waking up after a while. Now, this dude, this dude, if he stays up, now 10 o'clock is new bedtime, man. Crazy. I don't even know how it happens. He just stay up.
That's my bedtime too.
For real, right? Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. His bedtime, exactly. His bedtime is my bedtime. So, so it's funny. But yeah, that's how it goes. Donnie, you just got back?
Yep. I heard you guys talking about Lil Man. Was he in the camera? I missed him.
Yeah, you missed him, man.
He said LeBron's the GOAT.
First words.
I just looked at he like LeBron James. Like, damn, son.
He's still young. He still has a lot of learning to do. It's okay. Oh God.
Yo, by the way, the location change for y'all been to the Towson Mall before?
Hmm. I went to
I guess they
Taos.
have a. You went to. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah, man. That's they got a spot called Round One or something like. It's like part arcade, part bowling, I guess. Apparently this Irish weekend, everything's kind of crazy. So it's like reserving spots and stuff, man. Like I think the one spot I wanted to go to, man, they wanted to like reserving was like $500 to reserve, a few lanes and all. And so I was like, all right. So we found the other spot in town. So I'll send the location and everything for whoever can make it. And
Yeah, you gotta send an
yeah,
update.
yeah. I'll send that update. So I guess it's so even if there's a little wait on lanes, but pool tables, arcades, whatever, the mall. So we could do that, man. So hope
Cool.
all that goes well. Yeah. So that'll be cool, you know. But yeah, man. Duino, you still been selling some homes, man? How's real estate been going for you, man? By the way.
Well, I'm more on the trying to get on the investor side. That's part of one of the goals right now. So
Okay.
I got a new property in Northeast. I'm also in property management too. So dealing with that, with the hotel, there's commercial space, retail, hotel. So that's been keeping me busy.
Nice.
But now looking for deals. On the investor side, I'm trying to that running and ripping and running with this little man.
Yeah.
It take a toll on you, and I don't have that time to truly commit the way I want to in that regards. So, but nah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, if folks need help, I'm still helping them. But
That's cool.
I'm not. That's not first and foremost at the moment.
Nah, I feel you.
So
Yeah. Nah, these little humans do change. They do change that focus. It's
yeah.
cool. Yeah. But at least now, is it just you trying to do it, or you working with a group or with a partner?
No, I'm with a team, so it's
Okay,
not
you
like
got a
I'm,
team. Right.
but
Right.
to branch off and do my own thing, I got to be on my P's and Q's, and right now it's a lot going on.
Most definitely.
So not to say that I'm not potentially going to take that leap, but also getting into the mortgage side too is also something that's on the horizon, that's on the list too. Get the mortgage license. That way I can play it from a different angle, going to the investor side. If I get access, so we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but having access to the funds is the key, because the sales side is still active, right? You're on the buyer side, you're showing houses, you're listing, you still gotta get the property ready. But
Right.
on the investor side, that's when you get that mailbox money, and that's the ultimate goal. So being where
Yeah.
I'm at now, seeing how these folks move and shape, they're not, they're selling assets down the road, but it's not, they hire the brokers out and things like that. So just trying to get to that level, I gotta pivot a little bit.
I feel you. At least you know what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, the yellow brick road, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, having that more of a focus, and have more of a sense of direction in terms of what the end game is now, and having Cam and Maya being here, it kind of makes it a little easier because I can. That focus was, wide as 4-lane highway. Now it's down to 2. Once I get that laser focus, then it's game over. So that's what I'm trying to narrow down and lock in. So stay tuned. It's coming.
Most definitely. Bro.
Yeah,
Most
man.
definitely.
What about yourself?
Yeah, same. I mean, well, not the same, but I'm trying to stay, trying to get focused. I'm trying to partner with, some other investors and all. And like you said too, the funding is a big piece, of everything. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to do that. Still doing the realtor piece, and that comes in handy. But yeah, trying to get into that space, and like you said, just readjust. Now I'm trying to do a little more networking, trying to find different partnerships and all. But again, trying to do that between work and home, and really put myself out there to network and build the business, or find the right people to connect with. that kind of feels like it's a challenge, So that's just it's hard sometimes, and so but yeah, man, just keeping my foot on the gas, man, and seeing what'll come of it, seeing where I could find some gap funding. Interest rates are going up, so unfortunately, if and when I do get something, I know that the rate of hopefully the rate of return is higher than the fee, than the interest rate. But can't scare money make no money, right? So I'm just trying to just take my chances with it and see how I can make it work. Trying to get into land development, you know. Um, so I know a lot of people want to do like lease and hold or buy and hold or whatnot, but kind of just build some property and do stuff, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to rap more about that, man.
It's
Real
definitely
estate is the true passion that I have.
same.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Or
don't
with
want you guys
music.
to stop. I don't want you to stop. What I wanted to ask was, as crazy as the housing market is right now, this is as hot as it is right now, and people allowing their houses to pretty much be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and people are making quite a bit of money when they sell. What do you think is the best way to get a toehold in that industry? Is it to go and buy like bankrupt homes or foreclosed homes or inner city houses that need to be rehabbed and that kind of stuff to like get those first few flips in to get yourself to work your way up to the larger pieces of property, the more established pieces of property, or how do you get involved with it? Is it really waiting for a backer that's willing to go in with you? Because that's what I heard. Both of you guys were looking for, it sounds like a backer more so than finding like a more inexpensive property to start investing in, right?
Well, yeah, for me personally, it's the scalability. Like I have investment property, but to scale and add to that, I don't want to just do like have one and then add one more. Like I want one and then buy two more. By the next year, I want to add 4 more doors, and that's one of the goals that I have for myself. But then once you get beyond 4 doors on a property, once you get 5 and above, then it's a commercial piece to it in terms of the funding. And then the banks look at it differently. Whereas if it's 4 doors and under, it's debt to income, right? They look at the credit score, what you're bringing in, things like that, the expenses versus 5 or more. They're looking at the performance of the actual asset. So if you want to get into it right now, if you're trying to buy stuff, if you're really trying to get into on the investment side, you want to put it on pause to a degree, unless you get something off market. But everything is hot right now, so it's harder to find deals on the investor side per se. They say you make the money on the deal when you buy it. So if you're looking to get into it, just make sure you're doing your research, know your market, know your niche, and everything like that. But then I anticipate, and some financial folks are saying that a recession is coming, and that's when you snatch it up. It's just like what happened with the stock market. When everybody was buying GameStop and AMC, bam, 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 everybody's buying the hype. It shoots up, right? But if you buy then, you're buying at the highest point. You want to buy a stock, buy low to sell high if you were to sell, or buy and hold forever would be the ultimate plan. But what goes up must come down. It's it's basic with Newton's law of physics. So right now I'm just play on the sidelines, and then Warren Buffett says, when people are greedy, be fearful, but when people are fearful, be greedy. In the sense that when a recession hits, it's unfortunate, but if you have that cash or you have that capital or that access to snatch everything up, pennies on the dollar, and then you fast forward, you're going to come out on top. So
Yeah. And I think and for me it's kind of a mixture. Yeah, I definitely want to work with a good backer. I definitely want I definitely want to have the funding available, and and again, there's that whole piece of buying property and renting it out, and then eventually I don't know, I guess the older I'm getting, man, the less I want to deal with some of that. Like I just want to flip some places, flip homes, make some of my money up top, and then move on to the next one. But it's a little more challenging to do at times. A lot more investors that I talk to want to do the other bit, like, kind of like what Dwayne was saying, like they want to, purchase properties and kind of just hold them and, rent them out, and eventually, they'll pay themselves, and then, you can cash out later on. I guess for me, I don't know, man. I don't like the whole liability piece of things, because, you know, but it can work too. But like if I'm doing that, I want it to be a property that like that's like a new property as such. A lot of times we get into these older buildings and things, and there's just more maintenance and all. And is that always the case? It's just but like I just want to get in. We have some stuff, but like you said, like Dwayne was saying, sometimes you gotta just catch them off market. That's why it's a little harder, because a lot more people are trying to do the same thing, and when something comes out, like me having access to the MLS means nothing, because Realtor.com, the minute something pops up, Realtor.com got it. You know what I mean? Like it used to be a bigger advantage to that, and it's not as much anymore. You got to legit, like you said, sometimes those best deals are you got to catch them off market. You got to do your own homework. You got to, somebody could put you on or something, or if something does come on, you got to be quick to get on it. But and then right now, like I said, to borrowing money is even more expensive. Then it's going to be more expensive because rates are going up. And but it's, I don't know. For me, man, I'm just trying to like dabble in a few things, go about it in different ways, and then just see what sticks, see what works. I wish I had more of a game plan with it, but I just want to be able to have the money ready. An opportunity comes about, it looks good, and I just go from there. Because it's just so unpredictable.
And that's what I was curious about. Like, if you're not borrowing and you're not flipping smaller properties to build up some type of cash, like some stash of cash when a recession does hit, or the housing bubble pops, or whatever the case may be, like, how are you preparing for it? Are you just saving up your own cash, or are you doing other things in order to make that type of money and put it and squirrel it away?
I know for me, it's definitely both. I'm working on some lending right now. Seeing how that unfolds. I'm saving up some of my own cash, and seeing how I got. So for me, it's definitely, for me personally, it's definitely a combination of the two. Getting an investor that knows what they're doing. Because I'm not really well. I'm versed to a sense, but like I'm looking to work with people who've actually been doing some of this. And then for that way, it's not all on me. But yeah, man, it's a combination of all of that. It definitely is a combination of both, and then starting small, and then making those work, and then eventually to the point where I don't even need to borrow. I can, if I do use something, it's for something small, but yeah, I put my own cash in it, and then that way I get all my, or if I do borrow, I just know that I already have that cash. So if I'm gonna borrow 50,000, I already know I got 50,000 here, just, so I don't mind paying a little bit, but that capital is always there in the event something goes south. So maybe I'll pay on that, but I don't, I still have the majority of my capital. Maybe I'll use the money that I do have that's cash to go do another deal, and that'll help, fill the gap of the loss, because sometimes you take L's in this game too, man. You definitely, there's definitely L's you're taking, but I'm trying to make that minimal, So, but again, man, I'm not there yet. Right now, only thing I've been doing is on that realtor side, So I'll get there hopefully, but yeah, I'm not quite there yet.
You're
Like
doing
Dwayne,
you doing some showings and stuff, or?
yeah,
Like
like
here and there.
I have a. Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
think
you are doing some showing. You are doing some showings here and there.
like
All
yeah,
right.
here and there, but like I said, the main focus is switching gears. Having access
Yeah.
to the capital. Imagine if I don't know if y'all listen to Bigger Pockets or anything like that, but that's a big real estate podcast where one of the hosts, he started out as a realtor, doing a part-time as a cop, and now he has a mortgage business too. So imagine you do a deal and you're funding it on the back end, per se. So that's how I'm seeing it, just from what I feel would work for me and what goals and ambitions I have. But that's the beauty of real estate, and that's almost any product that's out there. NFTs, like you can do the creation side of it. You can be a wholesaler. I presume, in terms of the resales and stuff like that. There's just so many ways to get to the end goal, but everybody's path isn't the same, or everybody's goal isn't the same. It's just my passion is real estate. But we could all pool money together and get a 16 unit Stxhes house. You know what I mean? And so, and y'all could be, I can run it. Y'all can be passive. But that's the beauty of it. There's just so many avenues, tax advantages, obviously, things like that. But there's a reason why, in particular, real estate has been, since the dawn of man. That's why they call it a landlord. The one that owns the land has the power. Just look around. Just look around. Man. It's real estate is everywhere.
Yeah, it is. Now I still like I said.
I was gonna say, just to find your passion, find your niche, and make the most of it, because everybody's journey is not the same. Not gonna walk the same in the same shoes. But the key here would be to, if we're putting it out there, to hold each other accountable for our actions. The topic was, where do you see yourself a year from now? And I think, given the time, I think we might have to push it back to another episode. But no, I definitely want to hear what everybody has to say about that. And then my thought process down the road, or even after, is to, we put it out in writing. We share it amongst ourselves and say, hey, this is where I want to be a year from now. And then it's my duty to make sure Phil, Don, and Gene, Brandon, y'all get there. And anything that I can do to help you get there, use me as a resource, and vice versa. I would hope the same goes for everybody else. But nobody ever got to the top by themselves. So it's something that we got to do, especially being of a different hue, So,
amen, man. Amen to that. No, that's cool. Yeah. So almost like a business plan, but like a personal, a
life plan.
You can start with the end game, and you work backwards. I have, on the real estate empire, I call it, for myself. It's like there is an end game, but then just working backwards. The funding, the sales side was one. Just have that exposure, knowing the ins and outs. If I'm negotiating with a realtor who's saying this and that other thing and doesn't know that I'm licensed, use that to my advantage. There's just so many avenues, and it's a game of chess at the end of the day. And having access to MLS is great, but if you have a great relationship with somebody who's an agent, that's just as good as having access to MLS. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just finding your lane. And going 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. So true. Yeah.
Do y'all do like vision boards? I know, Phil, you had mentioned that you wrote some stuff down, but any of y'all other cats do like vision boards, or write down your goals?
I've done it. I do it. I remember I bought a sketchbook, and I started just putting up my ideas and stuff. And then I recently bought a planner, and I tried to do it again. The funny thing is, I felt disinterested in it the second time around, because, it's already there. Like I said, man, for me, it's sometimes I put a little bit on myself, because, remember, I'm a realtor trying to be an investor, a musician, and and have my career and be a family man. So it's like there are days I can't keep up. But but I remember trying to write it down again, and it felt good because I'd written it before, so I know what my goals are. I know, but sometimes it's just keeping that timeline. It's just keeping focus on, like I said, now I want to get into the NFTs, I want to get into merch, but I'm like, I can't afford to add anything more. But the vision is already there. It's all written down. But it was a huge help doing that. Like I said, I didn't feel like I needed to rewrite it, but writing it down the first time around, or every now and then I'll go to my sketch pad and then I'll just, you know, like see where I'm at and jot it down. Yeah, it's a big difference. You know, it makes a bigger difference than one could even imagine. You know, so yeah, I definitely advocate for that.
Have you ever done a vision board, Don?
Nope, never. That's why I was curious to hear what y'all. I was curious to hear what it was going to be about, and I was going to try to like play off of it, but no, I never did that before. I've never even heard of it before. What is? I don't even know. Is it like a plan, like a frame by frame?
I mean,
plan?
I don't call it a vision board or anything like that. For me, I just have whiteboards that it's almost like if I can see it every day, it's constantly reminding me. But it's also nice because like I'll do my whiteboards with like my big goals, like I'll write those out first as just like bullet points, and then underneath those I'll put the specifics of how this is actually going to be accomplished. And but for me, I'm normally looking at like 3 months time. Like I already know what my end goal is truly supposed to be for that, but I'm looking at like what are the things that I'm procrastinating the most? What are the things that I say that I want done? I say that I want to get to this. What's it going to take? And I can just look at that and just keep checking things off the list. Like the best feeling is when I can go up to the whiteboard and erase the whole thing and know that everything on that list I'm already done. So now I'm procrastinating filling it back up again. You know, it may be 2 weeks that I have all those things knocked off. Like I think the LLC paperwork and the bank account and stuff like that was like the last thing I had on my last list. And I checked that off in February. So now I got 2 more whiteboards with all the collections that I want to get accomplished and stuff like that. And it makes me feel like every time I see it when I'm walking in, I'm like, there's so many days that I would just come in and just sit down and watch TV, and I'm like, I don't really have anything going on. And the reality is, it's like you said you wanted to run a business. Like you said you wanted to. How do you have time when you also work 40 hours a week on this business? So how do you really have this much time? You're just choosing to make it free time. So looking at the vision board, or we'll call it looking at the vision board, it's like it just keeps things in perspective. And my mind is always all over the place. So being able to put it down in front of you, it makes it feel like you can accomplish it. Like it makes everything a lot more realistic. Like, oh, that's 20 things on this list, but that's 30 minutes, that's 20 minutes, that's an hour, and then it starts to add up. Yeah, I mean, it's priceless to me because otherwise, you know, you kind of just running around and picking up whatever you currently are thinking about, and you may not have an end goal for that. It ends up becoming a frustration after a little while because then you didn't do the other things that you could have been doing.
Yeah, so that was like when I initially heard of the vision board. It's, you know, typically around New Year's where they're like, oh, what are your goals for the year and things like that. And you would cut out pictures and put it on like a poster board.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted a Rolls Royce, you put that there. You want a nice vacation, you put a picture of an island with blue water and things like that. So that's what the premise behind it. But it could be a piece of paper or a sticky note that's on the bathroom mirror that you see every single day. See it visually, and that's the key piece to it. You know, for me, it's trying to like write stuff down. I always, you know, keep a notebook handy, just trying to write it down because they say if you put it on paper, it's more likely to happen than you just saying it. You know, that's an extra action step in terms of writing it down to get to the next level. But yeah,
even when it came to like the journaling side, like there was a few nights that I was telling you about, like using the app and everything, and I kept getting the notifications, and I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I don't really feel like writing this out. I'm gonna think about it though. I'm think about all the things that is not the same thing.
Right.
I was up until like 2:30 in the morning, like just sitting there, and then your mind's all over the place. It's like if I actually would have just taken the time. So I'm always happier when I just take the time to do it, and I can put the phone down, and it's closure. It's all there. It's gonna remind me the next day and all that stuff. But like there was a few nights in a row that it was like I just woke up. What are we doing? Like, and I just swiped across the notification. Like, nah, not today. I don't really need it. I'm in a good mood. I don't really need it. And then it's like then that becomes the habit that you're not doing it on a regular basis. And then when you actually are like down and out or you're stressed about something, it's that accumulation of all those days that you didn't actually focus in on it. Now you got to start from scratch again. It feels like, that consistency. Like when I said, I got 3 notepads, 5 pens, and 2 whiteboards around me right now. Is otherwise it's like it clouds my mind too much when it comes to having way too many things going on, and then it's like you look up and you got nothing accomplished. A lot of half-empty things, like a lot of things that were halfway done, and you just got to get it off your plate and putting it down. It makes it very realistic, and it kind of holds you accountable too. When people come over to your house and you see all your whiteboards on the wall, like, oh, you've been working on some stuff, and you're like, I should be.
All right.
I wrote all these a year ago.
It don't even erase off the board anymore. It's just
got a spread.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so true. That's so true, bro. Yeah. But yeah, man, Donnie, definitely, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Try it sometime, but yeah, of course you gotta do it with a purpose, but you'd be surprised with it. Sometimes even if you don't know, just start doodling. Just you start making sense and put some structure to it.
Now, I have to say, over the last, few weeks, couple months, me looking at you and hearing how you talk and the thought process and things like that, like I feel like you're like a pot that's like boiling, or the tea kettle that's about to start steaming.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have so much passion for something that you just need to let it go, let it come out.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why I get that. I don't know why I get it, but that's what I'm picking up. And Phil's nodding his head, and I think everybody's in agreement that there's a button that we need to push. And I'm saying we as brothers holding each other accountable for you to take that next step. I know that there's been, hurdles and obstacles and just life in general, but something is telling me that there's a trigger that you need to pull to make 2022 a good one for you.
I'll say it like this. There's a lot of things that are already in motion at the moment, and it's provided a lot of clarity as to figuring out which things are most important and which things need to evolve into progress, into change, and all that kind of stuff. And I agree with what you're saying. It's true. My goals aren't nearly as like I don't know, worldly or whatnot, more so along the lines of like becoming more independent and possibly moving and possibly doing this and doing that. It's more along the lines of building more structure for myself and becoming more of my own person and stuff like that, more so than it is. And I mean, business investments and things will come in due time, because that's just the phase of life that we're in. We got to start thinking about an end game, right? We're all at an age where you're going to start peaking in terms of your ability to earn and all that kind of stuff. You've got to be able to think about retirement and having something for your future generations and stuff like that. But for me right now, yeah, a lot of it is evolving around just getting to know me more and what I want to explore and what I want to improve upon. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff that's going to change here over the course of this year, since that's what our topic was supposed to be about for sure. So I'm looking forward to that talk. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's not like being like that tea kettle ready to pop. Like, it's not even like, oh, he's about to strike this big business deal. It's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you, like being you, like figuring out exactly what you want to do and finding that like that true clarity in terms of like having a passion, outside of you're going to be a father no matter what. You're going to have the kids no matter what, but not losing yourself and just like that's your only role. Like there's so many things that you can do that's very special, that's going to give you peace of mind and going to give you excitement and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of changes that's going to happen. I feel like looking at it a year from now, what do you want to look like? I think the vision board for you would look a lot different than everybody else, but it doesn't mean that it's not something we want to try and hold you accountable to. Like, those are things that you should be looking for. I think the next episode, since we touched on some things, let's actually come to the table with realistically a year from now and have some bullet points and the different things that you want to get accomplished and all, and actually focus in on it, because it's we'll jump into it when we actually start the episode instead of like talking about sports and stuff like that. Like, we'll actually get into it. Like, come prepared, take the week, think about it or whatever, and we'll come back to it. And if Brandon's around at the school, if he's not, let's still go ahead and try and do it. But I think it's important for everybody.
And the other piece I wanted to add into that, yes, just having the goals, but having an action plan for that goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can talk about it, but you got to be about it, right? So I think the key piece would be to obviously take that next step, take that action step, but being consistent about where you want to go. And to help you get there, obviously having a roadmap definitely is better than not having one and driving blindly.